Okay, tough topic today. Employee, contractor, contractor, employee, which is it? As much as you don't like paying the payroll taxes, nobody does. Odds are when you're hiring someone or engaging them with your firm as you grow, they're probably they're probably an employee. Let's go through how you're going to make that determination and do the right thing, because E is not just for employee, E is for ethics. So why do we have this ethical dilemma at all? Why do employers struggle about whether or not to classify a worker as an employee or as a contractor? Well, it's payroll taxes. You've got Social Security, which can be 6.2%, Medicare 1.5%, unemployment taxes, you may have regional taxes, and that's expensive. I get it. Public service announcement. These laws that guide whether or not you determine a worker is an employee or a contractor, they have some high penalties. The tax agencies will be all over you. First of all, if you make the state angry, they'll let the feds know, and then you'll have two agencies doing audits on all of your books. But also, it's a question of ethics, and you want to be sure that in the short term and the long run that you do the right thing and build your company on the strongest ethics you can, because definitely what goes around comes around. There are 3 types of tests that you can apply to the way the worker is engaging with your firm or company to decide if he or she is more of an employee or more of a contractor. The first one is behavioral control. The more control you have over the person's work, then the more likely that he or she is actually an employee and not a contractor. So here are some questions that you can ask. The first is, am I training this person? If you're providing significant training, I'm thinking employee. And so's the state, and so's the federal government. Are you providing specific instructions about how the work can be done or should be done? Again, if you're providing a lot of feedback, it's an employee. Are you measuring and evaluating the details about how the job is done? Again, employee. All right, next up is financial control. Again, the same rule applies. The more control you have over the work that the worker is doing, the more likely that person will be designated to be an employee. So ask yourself, did I pay for the equipment that they are using? If you are, then it's more likely they're an employee. Are there services available in the open market? What that means is the person we're talking about in the business of performing that work for sale to many potential consumers, so to speak, like a landscaper? Can a landscape, is the person mowing the grass or taking care of your landscape around the building in the business of providing landscaping services commercially and widely? So that one's a real great test for whether or not the person's a contractor or an employee of yours. Also consider how they're paid. Is it weekly or hourly? Is this feeling more like they're on payroll, or are they, giving you a contract and saying that and sending you a bill? Although that's not really written in the statute, you don't see, or the guidelines that are published in the IRS. Do you get a bill from them? From Joe's Landscaping or from Fran's Design Services, or are they showing up and you're paying Fran? That's a great test right there. And our third test is that of relationship. This defines essentially how intertwined your company is with the daily operations of this individual. Do you have an engagement agreement for a short period of time where they're going to be providing particular services, or do you have an employment contract? Of course, if you have an employment contract with them, they'll be conceived to be, of course, an employee. Do you offer them employee benefits? If you do, then we're looking at an employee relationship. Is the relationship based more on a project basis, short term, or on a permanent basis, long term? In the case of the permanent, again, leaning more towards the employee. Project is leaning a little bit more towards the contractor. And is this service that you are getting from the worker a core offering of your company or something ancillary? If it's something ancillary, the likelihood is that it's probably more of a contractor than it is an employee. Let's go over a couple examples. It makes it a little bit easier to compare and contrast the differences. Let's look at Penelope. Penelope's our artist here today. You hire her to complete some designs. She's going to be working on marketing campaigns for you. Penelope has her own studio and performs work for several other firms in town. That's how you found out about her in the first place. She did some work for one of your friends' companies down the street. She's paid at the completion of each of her projects. And because of these aspects alone, she is most likely a contractor. So to contrast, we're still hiring Penelope to do some marketing design work for us, but some of the aspects of her role and conditions are different. Let's say she uses one of the offices in your building and she's using your supplies. She's using your computer and your software to do the design work for you. Let's say you choose to pay her every other week when you pay the rest of your employees. Well, in this case, because she's using your supplies, she's coming into the office, you're essentially paying her on your payroll cycle. She is deemed to be an employee, most likely. And I know it's not always easy to determine whether or not one of your workers is an employee or a contractor. I will put the link to the IRS website. It should assist you in making that determination. It will be in the description box. And of everything else that you're trying to juggle as a business owner, I hope that this video has given you a little bit of insight to how to make that determination on your own. Please subscribe to our channel. Please follow us on Instagram or on Facebook or on LinkedIn. We'll continue to post other videos to YouTube. We'll walk all the way through the alphabet, help you understand the language of finance. Again, good luck out there. We love being a part of your life. We love small business owners. You guys are the heart and soul of our economy. And until we see each other again, bye. Thanks.